has been using secret pseudonyms to conceal his identity. Maybe that's connected to the fact that Donald Trump was right. Millions were made in those energy deals with China and the Ukraine. Could those two things be connected? Hello there, you 6.5 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining us today for this voyage to truth and freedom. Turn on the notification bell and subscribe. My name is Robin Waring. I'm your host. Sorry, I'm actually called Russell Brand. Joe Biden has been using a host of pseudonyms, but don't get suspicious as a result of that. There's a whole host of reasons that people use pseudonyms, and let me talk you through them. Sometimes use a pseudonym to hide your identity because what you're involved in is either criminal, illegal, or shameful in some way. That's it. That's the only reason anyone would ever use a pseudonym. So let's get into this story, particularly as CNN have had to recently admit that Donald Trump was right when he said that millions were made from the energy deals between China, Ukraine, and the Biden family. How extraordinary.
And Kristen, Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post had a fact check about Joe Biden from earlier this month, noting that Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about what are you talking about? China.
Once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
That is really, really inconvenient, I would say, for Joe Biden supporting Democrats to have Donald Trump and Joe Biden sharing a screen together and Joe Biden be the one that's lying, because Donald Trump is the one that's currently being indicted. Credit to CNN for showing this and bringing it up. Let's see how they try to offer us panaceas, palliatives, mitigation, contingency. Oh, why is this okay when he does it?
So it's from two different debates, but I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China.
Look at how they're beginning to justify it. A Hunter Biden blind spot. Like, oh, all of us parents would make little efforts and fudge the facts for our kids. And God, I suppose I would, actually. But it's not a blind spot when you're the president. It's a corrupt spot. Got a bit of a corrupt spot when it comes to saying my son didn't earn millions when he did earn millions. That's a lying spot. That's a measles. That's an outbreak. That's one pandemic we can get behind.
And Joe Biden was wrong. I don't know that he was lying about it. He might not have been told by Hunter, but this blind spot is a problem.
All these bloody blind spots. Well, we can just put it down to a blind spot as long as Joe Biden hasn't been masquerading under a host of pseudonyms, because when someone uses a pseudonym, they're usually trying to hide what they're doing under that pseudonym. If, for example, you were buying an illicit substance and the person selling you that illicit substance, hey, what's your name? My name is Rob Innocent Man. One would assume that you are using that pseudonym to conceal your tracks in making that transaction, right?
Homer? Who is Homer? My name is Guy Incognito.
It's a problem, one, because Republicans aren't going to let it go, that's for sure.
Oh, those Republicans, they won't let it go. Just because someone lies and is corrupt, they bang on about it. Unlike us, look at us with Donald Trump. Not tenaciously dogging the guy to get him out of the presidential campaign. It's like it's one role for them and another role for us.
But also, these problems are continuing through the legal system. It's not as though this is something that's been settled in other jurisdictions and Republicans are just harping on it. It is an ongoing thing in our courts. It's not going anywhere.
This is a blind spot.
It's a blind spot. It's a blind spot. That's how it works, isn't it, mainstream media now? They just give you phrases. Look out to see if you hear anyone going, oh yeah, admittedly, Joe Biden's got a bit of a, I don't know, how can I describe it? Corruption? No, that's not it. Lying? No, that's not it. Bad, lame duck president? No, that's not it. Blind spot. That's what the TV told me. Blind spot.
Does it concern you as a Democrat?
Well, I think dads have sometimes, and parents sometimes have blind spots.
It's understandable. We're dads. We got blind spots. It's not like me today with my daughters when they sort of argue about who's going to wear what thing. And I'm like, God, I love these kids so much. Look, I'll get you one as well. This is corruption. This is lying. All the while building your forthcoming campaign around the corruption of your opponent. This guy's so corrupt. We have to do something about this guy. Hillary Clinton, smug and snug on Rachel Maddow. I told you this would happen. Yeah, well, should we have a little look at that foundation? And what about this dude and Hunter Biden's business dealings? With that many blind spots, I don't think you can be in charge of steering a country.
And parents sometimes have blind spots about their kids, for sure, and the president may be no exception.
Like, when it's convenient, they equate matters of international governance to the simple domestic relationships you might have with a child. That's not fair. Not in this instance. You can't map that onto it. You can see that the approach to this item is, this is not okay. How do we make it sound okay? Well, when have you done stuff that's corrupt in your life? Oh God, I suppose like I'd be corrupt if it was to protect my kid. Should we say that then? That's not good enough. That's not rigorous journalism. What they should be saying now, actually, because for a minute I thought, oh, it's good that CNN are including this because obviously they're addressing it, but they're not addressing it. They're trying to dampen it down, dilute it, and obfuscate it live on your TV set. Donald Trump's got a blind spot, whatever it is you've got him up for this week. He's got a blind spot on wanting to win elections. He can't start using that. Those elections are like his kids, and he just likes to win his kids, you know?
But nothing has tied the president to any of Hunter Biden's dealings. There's no whiff of him being involved or him being implicated in it.
There's a terrible whiff of that, isn't it? The whole place stinks of it. I feel like I've got my snout up Joe Biden's bumhole and he's just farting lies up my snout pipe. Now, there's an image for you.
And it's, I think it's not something the voters care a lot about.
Oh, the voters don't care about that. That's you. When does the news turn into hypnotism? It's not the job of the news to tell you that you don't care about corruption and lying, is it? The job of the news is, here's some facts. I don't know what you think about it. You might think it's okay. You might go, oh, it's any parent would do the same. Or you might, for some reason, like you're a mad nihilist, not care about it. It's not the job of the news to offer you suggestions, to sort of take you by the hand and lead you to erroneous conclusions about systemic corruption and hypocrisy at a time when democracy is apparently on the brink of collapse because of this kind of thing. Because the mainstream news, instead of saying, look, all this while we've been saying Donald Trump's corrupt and Joe Biden's fantastic, it actually seems that at very least Joe Biden is also corrupt, and we're going to have to look now with new eyes, without all of our blind spots we have because we love our kids so much, at the reality of this situation. This is insidious suggestion rather than news reporting. With all this stuff going on, no wonder Joe Biden's using pseudonyms. President Joe Biden's use of multiple pseudonyms during his vice presidency appears to have hidden some of his communications from that period. Yeah. So that's the fucking point of them. Including some involving, wait for it, Ukraine policy and his son, Hunter Biden. What an incredible coincidence. Almost as if he's trying to obscure and conceal his involvement in Hunter Biden's business deals. The House Oversight Committee asked the National Archives on Thursday for communications involving three of Joe Biden's aliases, Robert Peters, Robin Ware, and J.